Morning, everybody. Jason. Had to leave PJ at the truck for a minute. Hollis Farms. Oh, it's a little wet again. Lots of coon and possum action last night, as y'all will see in the video. And I show it to y'all in a minute. Dropped it. Had 4 coons and a possum. And watched them. They was in there nearly all night. I just looked at it a minute ago. I think I'm down to 1 coon and a possum. I guess the other 3 coons were so small, but I know they're mostly hair, fur, whatever you want to call it, but I don't know. The other 3 were young coons. I don't have a clue where and how they squeezed out, but kind of been in a rush this morning. I mean, like 4 o'clock in the morning, they was all still in there. I don't know how they got out. Looks like we got a little more tuning to do. I wish I could have been videoing when they got out where I knew where they squeezed out. I'm not sure. I'm rushing in there. I hope they're hanging around and we're going to try to get them around the trap. But anyway, we're going to keep learning. We're going to figure it out. Try to ease in here. I'm hoping these young coons are still around. Mama in the trap. Hoping if they right around there, they'll just run up a tree and we can still get them. Man, wet again. clue. Where them little ones got out. But they did one thing I thought. They chewed my trigger up. So we got to work on that. Always something, ain't it? I don't know how them rascals got out. Alright, so I think I may have figured it out. The wire on all the front, the back, top, and the two sides, they're real tight, real close together. And that's the same kind of panel that I put on the bottom when we extended it the other day. But the rest of the whole bottom, the squares were a little bigger. And all I can figure is they're just small enough for them younger coons to dig and squeeze out. That's all I can figure. I don't think they come out the door anywhere. It's no hair or nothing. I think it's just too tight. So, two things to fix. I think what I'll probably do to experiment next time it's hot today, I'm getting eat up by skeeters and I spray it down. It's gonna be humid today. But I think I got some more of that panel left that we fixed that other gap with. I think I'll just raise it up and slide a piece under it and set it back down on it and see if that works. I'm sure it will. I don't want to get it too heavy. That was the whole point, not to be too heavy to move around. And then they chewed the trigger wire up. I'm not sure if that didn't go on. I didn't think they could reach it the way it was. I'm not sure if that didn't go on when some of them got out and they was up on top of it trying to free mama or whatever they was trying to do. So got a tune on the trigger wire, and I think fix that bottom. I think we'll be good to go. At least we got two of them out of the way, a coon and a possum. But always a learning curve when you start something new, trying to figure it out. Man, it's gonna be hot today. I rushed down here real quick. I ain't even ate breakfast yet. I'm gonna go back and PJ gonna eat breakfast. I ain't gonna be able to do a whole lot. I got an idea on some feeders that I may fool with. Some of our spin feeders have got a trough around them. I'll show y'all that if we do it. And I usually just put corn in them, but getting pretty close to the season, I might just grab some of this protein and it will. I don't like spinning the protein on the ground because it get wet, but it can spin it in them troughs. So I think we may do a few of them. I don't have a whole lot of them. Most of them just the regular spin feeders. About all we can do today, because it rained a bunch when we left yesterday. This sun coming up, it's gonna dry out pretty good. Alright, so here's what's for breakfast today. I love these little things. Belvita. Little cracker things or whatever. These are, what are they? Blueberry? Boy, they are good. Ain't they, PJ? Yeah, they good. Alright, so we're going to slip around and fool with some of these feeders, these trough spin feeders. Probably going to have some battery issues. I've got to get me a couple of trickle chargers. Some of these are solar panels, the wire's been cut. There's one little spot on this thing, I'll show y'all if I remember, where a coon can get to them. It's the only downfall of this particular feeder. I need to work on that too, boy. It's just never ending on finding something to do, that's for sure. I think our ditching we did the other day, I got a little high spot right there, but as a whole, did pretty good. I messed around and cut it so deep when I come in here with the super grader, I got a little bit of ripple because it was so much rolling over. Did real good right there. I'm gonna eventually keep grading and get that little hill right there wider and wider, because It's pretty good for a Ranger or whatever, but when we're logging, it needs to be wider. But I've kind of ditched a little bit that way and moved the road up more this way. The water is draining fine. It's just that I cut it so deep, it's a little soft. And I didn't realize how deep I was cutting it with the super grader, and it kind of rolled over. It made it a little rough, but when it dries out, I think we've got our roll in the road pretty good where the water will get off of it. Getting off of there real good. I think we can keep it up for a little while right now with just a super grader. All right, so this one right here was probably the worst one we worked on the other day. Like I said, it's still pretty soft, but it don't look like hardly anything run down the middle of the road. It went down through our ditch pretty good. It may have come over a little bit right there. Boy, it got it rolling good right there. Just a work in progress. When you get a lot of rain, it fills in. Got a little bit more work before winter gets here. I need to get that right there just a little bit deeper. But that right there did real good. Well, this clover's doing good. All right, so here's one of the trough spin feeders. Some of them have had issues with coons getting this little bitty wire right here that goes into the battery from this solar panel. I need to put me a little piece of metal over there. I just hadn't ever done it. You gotta watch for wasps in these things. When we open this door, see some ants going in there. Oh, snake could get in there too, so let's watch for wasps. I don't see any wasps. Just ants. Some little corn laying there. See if she's still working. I'm gonna test it real quick before we put anything in it, and then we'll test it again. I think the battery's up. Ants tearing me up. Oh yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and test this thing with the feed in it now and show y'all how that works if I ain't never done that before. Them things work pretty good, especially if you're just gonna feed some protein and you have that trough there to keep it from getting wet. But I believe if I had to do it all over again, and like I said, we ain't got but just I don't know, 3, 4, 5 of them right there, I think. Have to remember, but I would probably, if I had to do it all over again, I would just get the regular spin ones that spin corn out. They'll spin that out, but then your protein get wet. But they do pretty good. That wire's a little aggravating. I need to put something over all of them, then I wouldn't have to worry about anything. She didn't even know we was there for a minute. Kind of snuck up on her. Slipped up. Alright y'all, so a pretty good day today. At least we got one coon. My lens is fogging up from being in that air conditioning truck. It's humid right now. At least we got one coon and one possum out of the way. I think I got the fix. Hopefully that'll be the final fix. Put some more panel on the bottom where them small ones can't dig out. I think we got it under control for the bigger ones. But anyway, waiting on the hogs to come through. I know everybody likes the hog trapping videos, and I think they do pretty good. I know they get a lot of views. But I think what's going on now is just the result of catching so many it's just not many around right there anymore. So when we do get some coming through, we try to catch them, but they're going to be sometimes pretty tricky. I do think I have proven one thing: when you get to a group like this, the panel trap doesn't need to be what's used. I think we'd have done caught that group of 7 or 8 if we'd have just put a drop trap in there right to start with and learn my lesson on that. We'll catch them eventually, I think, even if it's somewhere else. Got cameras kind of around. We'll just keep an eye on them. But I don't hardly see any rooting anymore, which is a super thing. So that's why we started doing it. It's allowed me to do a lot of extra tractor work and this and that, and possibly not have to fool with anything if I don't want to at the time, because the hogs, I was just on a mission, and I'm still, if they're there, I'm gonna do my best to get them. And as far as I know, I mean, you're not gonna I don't think we'll ever catch them all, because it's not enough people trapping. I really think if a lot of people, more people would trap, these bigger landowners, if they'd get them a trap and work it, we could really do some good. But can't do nothing about everybody else's property, but I can do work on ours, and that's what we've been doing. We're just gonna keep an eye on it. If we catch a group coming through, we're gonna do our best to catch them. But anyway, I gotta get on this lawnmower for a little while, as I hate to, but we're gonna have to. It's clouding up like it might rain again. I hope not. Appreciate y'all watching. Out of here.